Orson Welles. Welcome to the Final Picture Show podcast. We're on episode 80 something. I've lost count. You probably have to. Travis, have you been keeping count?
I don't think I started on count.
No, there you go. I don't think you know how to count. We'll just go from there. How to count.
I'm not a numbers guy. You know?
You're not a numbers guy. We've established that, yeah. We are here with another guest to talk to us about a movie that I'm pretty sure you and I saw in theaters together. And that was Final Fantasy Spirits Within. And I'm here with one of my friends for a very, very long time. Almost fucking, damn near, it's going on a long time. I've lost count. I'm also not a numbers guy. Not technically new to the show. He did show up on an episode of when we did one game of Fallout. I'm talking about Jamie. He's here. Jamie, say hi.
Hey, Matt. Thanks for having me on. Hello again, Travis. Appreciate you guys having me on to discuss this one.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of the ones you guys have been putting out, and I gotta say, I'd have never heard of most of them.
That is basically the premise. That is basically the premise.
Oh, okay.
If you remember when we were living together and I would just put on random movies for Travis and then just walk away, it's kind of like that come to life.
Doing it all over again.
I see.
Basically.
You turned a troll into a podcast. I dig it.
You dig it, right? You dig the hustle. Yeah, right.
Oh.
Our first guest so far that doesn't have, other than my wife, that doesn't have anything to shell or sell us. So we're just going to skip over the Jamie. Do you have a podcast to sell? I don't believe you have started one yet. You're the only white man in America.
Well, I'm about to shatter that completely. When is this going to go live?
This will go out in second to the last week of January.
Oh yeah, by then my thing will be in full swing. So
nice.
Ooh.
What you got?
We can, we can go ahead and get into it now, or we can get into it at the end, whatever you prefer. But yeah, I'll be on the channel. Well, it's my channel. I won't be just on it. It's Mid-Millennial Gaming on YouTube.
Nice.
I'm going to be going through the semi-golden age of games that we went through in the 90s and early 2000s. Going to be starting with Dino Crisis and Dark Forces.
Nice.
Very cool,
Nice. Hell yeah, dude. I love Dino Crisis and Dark Forces.
Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm definitely going to tune into that and maybe force my way into a couple episodes. God damn it.
Yep. And just to be clear, if you are looking for game-crushing gameplay, excellent strategy, and you're just going to destroy the game from start to finish, this is not the channel for that.
Nice.
We're just going to enjoy the story of older games that we all grew up with, and a lot of the ones that were pretty big in the time that I never got around to playing. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Kind of an excuse to play more retro games.
Yeah, retro games are getting harder to find too. They're not really
sure.
They're kind of like VHS movies and DVDs and the things that we talk about on this channel, where with everything merging together and the great convergence. Everything's getting harder and harder to find.
Yeah, especially if you're going for the physical media for sure.
Yes, physical media. So, man, I've reassembled my DVD collection. It's taken over one of my bedrooms, and sometimes to the chagrin of my wife, because they have this pawn shop down the street from me, and they will do 25 for $5, and they do DVDs, games, everything. So
wow.
I make out like a bandit sometimes and then sell some of it on eBay and do some trades and swaps with people here in Memphis. It's a fun time. I've enjoyed the physical media collection. I think that there's
you've had a lot of luck with used media. Me, not so much. I tend to stay away from it because every time I pick it up, it doesn't work. But that's essentially your entire library, if I'm not mistaken.
Basically, I tend to go for the used stuff. I love me a good sale. I just do. I could easily buy something better, but hey, I got 25. I come out like a little gremlin. It's like a little D&D fantasy. Speaking of D&D fantasies, I guess let's just dive into this movie.
I gave you everything I've got. Well, I know it's not a lot, but I tried so hard. All the time we spent, wonder where it went. Why was time move on?
Final Fantasy Spirits Within. This came out in the year 2001, which we are now 25 years away from.
Oh. That hurts.
I am a numbers guy, unlike you guys, and I don't like that either.
That hurt my knees, right?
Right.
It's time to take your ibuprofen for your lower back, boys.
Yeah. Travis, did you take your high blood pressure medicine?
I did not take my blood pressure med. Don't let me
to
forget. I need to take it.
You got to take that blood pressure medicine. You gotta get on it. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, right. My knees and back and all my gray hair is feeling this, as we say. Yeah. 2001 is the year I remember. I'm fairly certain me and Jamie saw this movie in theaters together.
I want to say the same thing, but I've been spending way too many nights with my good friend Jimmy Bean and his brothers Blackie and Red. But so I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty sure this was one like Resident Evil we saw.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, we're pretty sure we saw this in theaters together. We used to see a lot of movies in theaters back when they were cheaper to do so. It didn't cost an arm and a leg and your first child to go see a picture. You know, it was a good $20 and you could have a good time with some friends. But and
also,
then hit a IHOP afterwards.
Also, there weren't people in the theater doing like memes and videoing themselves and stuff.
Yeah, that is kind of obnoxious. I wish they would.
I still haven't seen that in the wild. You guys have, huh?
I've seen a little bit of it here in Memphis. I've heard more of it. It doesn't surprise
it's mostly
me when it happens.
What I've seen online. I would.
Okay.
I'm so after I worked at the theaters, I'm so done with the theater experience, and that was
never
a long
back
time
again.
ago.
Like, you saw how the sausage was made, so never again.
Exactly.
Speaking of seeing how the sausage is made, let's one of my transitions here. Let's get into the director of this feature because he never made another movie ever again once he saw how the sausage was made. Also, this movie bombed like no movie had before up to this point. It was quite a bust.
Oh man, I'm part of the problem because this is my first time watching this. So
this was my first time watching it in years. I had not seen this in probably 15, 16 years. It had been a long time.
We had the DVD after it came out, but I don't know if you remember, my mom was pretty anal about how she organizes stuff. So she would do everything alphabetical. And in one of our moves, we lost A through L. So this is one of the ones that went.
One of the ones that got away from you. Yeah, I own this movie on DVD somewhere around here. I didn't watch it on DVD this time, just because I didn't feel like it. I just watched it on my phone, truth be told. I asked my wife, I was like, hey, do you want to watch this movie? And she was like, never heard of it. And so I put the trailer on for it, and she just looked at me, and she was like, no. And I was like, okay, fair enough. All right, fair enough. So I watched it on my phone. So, but originally I did see it in theaters, and I do own the DVD somewhere around here. This film was directed by two people. One of them, and both of them have names that are going to be hard for me to pronounce. So once again, if I butcher them, I'm sorry. This is another foreign film, although the production studios are American. They were Columbia, and technically this movie was made in Hawaii. So kind of an American movie in a way, but made by Japanese artists mostly. And that becomes relevant here in a little while. So the director is Hironobu Sakaguchi. Yeah, and he is a very famous man. He is the creator of the Final Fantasy series at Square Enix, which was originally Squaresoft. Had a hand in every single one of the games up until, Final Fantasy X-2. And then that was his departure from the Squaresoft. And he would go and form other studios that would do, like Blue Dragon. He did that Xbox 360 game, which I never played. But I have played a lot of the Final Fantasy games, which kind of was what led me to watch this movie. And my introduction to the Final Fantasy games was Jamie here. So, Jamie, thoughts on the Final Fantasy series up until 10-2, which I know you're not a fan of. And who is?
I never got around to 10-2. It just seemed like it wasn't made for me, and which is fine. But yeah, you see in the movie, I don't know if we want to get into it quite yet, but it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic thing, and a lot of the individual titles in the game series usually revolve around some sort of cataclysm or global war, and you're either in it or you're like right after the big event.
Yeah. A lot of them do have that kind of like similar feature where they are like dealing with like some like great thing that just happened or is about to happen, or you're trying to prevent it from happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of a standard feature of the Final Fantasy series, and this one is definitely there. Do you have a favorite Final Fantasy game? And Travis, did you ever play any of them?
I only ever played 8, and very little of it. And the most I ever played it was at the apartment back in the day.
I was gonna say, JB also introduced you to that.
Yes.
Yep, that'd be me too.
Yep.
And it was introduced to me by a mutual childhood friend of ours. I guess my favorite one would be the one that I played. Let's see, it was probably the one that I wasn't introduced to by someone else. I just picked it up on my own, and that would be Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah,
close second would be Tactics for sure.
Yeah.
It was the one that wasn't like I wasn't walked through. I got to experience for the first time on my own. So it's kind of hard to beat your first one, you know.
Yeah.
You never forget your first.
You never do. You never do. I would say the first one I saw played was I think it was either 8 or 7 at your house.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I really got like obsessed with was Final Fantasy Tactics, and
yes.
I was playing it on my Switch over Christmas break.
Final Fantasy, as I
yeah, which is also in a way kind of like a weird post-apocalyptic game, honestly.
Yeah, it
like
starts
the world
right after a major war. Yeah, and your character is was on the losing side. So your country, your character, all those, I guess. Kind of similar to, Germany twice.
Yeah. And then the first one that I kind of discovered on my own was just the first one that came out after I got into them was Final Fantasy X.
Yes.
So I kind of have a soft spot for that one. And even though the story in that game, similar to the movie here, is absolutely fucking ridiculous. We'll talk about that as we get into the movie, because a lot of people online are like, some people have completely like rediscovered this movie and are like, oh, that's the greatest thing ever. And it's like, did you watch it though?
I had something like that on it too. Yeah, whenever I was rewatching it, I was after work, so I was having a couple beers while watching the movie, and I was like, man, this movie rules. I don't know why it got so much hate. And then I watched it again, stone cold sober, and I was like, this movie does not rule. Not at all. So if you're going to watch this movie and you want to enjoy it, not that I would advocate this, but be on something. You know what I mean?
Enhance a little.
Yeah.
Indeed. The person helping Mr. Sakaguchi here is another Japanese man, Montoru Sakibara.
Nailed.
I think that maybe I don't know. He is also he actually did do other movies. He directed the Pokemon movie Mewtwo Strikes Back, which I don't think I ever watched. He did do that one. It was later in the Pokemon movie series. It wasn't the first or the second one, so I've never seen it. Those are the only 2 Pokemon movies I ever watched. I still haven't seen Detective
I don't even
Pikachu.
remember the second one at all. So.
I remember parts of it. I can't remember if the second one or the first one has the Slow King part that kills me every time, where he just like waves at the. It just makes me laugh. I have no idea which one that one is.
Ridiculous character, yeah.
He is an absolutely ridiculous character. Yes. So that is who is directing this film, and the writers.
Cloaking?
Well, the writers. There are many. This movie had maybe like over 100 writers.
What?
The history of the writing of this movie is really interesting. So the way it was written by mostly Americans, and then they would write it in English, and then they would send it to Japan, and then the people at Squaresoft would translate the English to Japanese, and then they would rewrite it and change things, and then they would send that back to the English writers, who would then have to translate the Japanese back into English, and then they would add more to it, and then they would send it back to Japan, and it would get translated from English back to Japanese, and they just kept doing this over and over and over again, which is why the dialogue in this movie and most of the people that speak in it sound absolutely completely fucking ridiculous. Yeah. It's just, that is why. It's because it was a process of translating things over and over and over again.
Oh wow.
And the Squaresoft, they had like assistants and pretty much everybody like throwing in different dialogue options. So the writers that are credited here are them. I'm not going to go over all of them because, like I said, there's a lot of writers, but the credited ones, the ones that actually got some money for this, are Al Reinhardt, who would also write Apollo 13, which, weird connection there. There you go. We also got Jeff Vintar, who would be from Iowa. He was part of the Iowa Writing Workshop, which if you ever want to learn how to write really well, I would go there. A lot of my professors in college were Iowa Workshop writer guys, and they
would not have expected Iowa to be that, but right on.
Yeah, right. I think it's just because, like, kind of like Montana, it's just like it's cheap and there's a lot of space, and so you can, like, you know, have like a little place where you can have a shitload of people that are going to go and like all talk about and get better at writing for, like, you know, a period of time together. I don't know. It sounded interesting when I was in my 20s, less so when I'm in my late 30s. His major film contribution outside of this one was I, Robot. He was one of the writers on I, Robot, which I know Travis likes.
Oh yeah,
I know you like that movie. Next up is Jack Fletcher, who would mostly be known for voice direction and not so much writing, but he did contribute some dialogue to this movie as well as some other parts to it. So he would mostly do voice direction and work as like an additional crew member on Aeon Flux, Fern Gully, Spawn, the TV show. He also helped with Square at Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2, as well as he did the English to Japanese dialogue translation for Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions on the PSP.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there are more connections to our childhood. There you are. Two more guys to talk about. One of them is a man named B.L. Jurgens. There you go. I don't know what that is a name. I'm not sure what the B and the L stand for, but B.L. Jurgens is what he goes by. He was mostly known as a visual effects story editor, which I guess makes you a writer in this movie because you're mostly like dealing with computer effects and not so much like live actors reciting lines. So he also got a writing credit. This is his only writing credit. He's mostly known as a story editor, like I said, and he also would work on Avengers, Day After Tomorrow, and the Tom Cruise, Morgan Freeman post-apocalyptic movie Oblivion, which may or may not mostly rip off WALL-E. But hey.
I would trust a guy with that kind of a name to tell me the accurate weather. Like, I would trust that guy.
Last guy we'll talk about, he only ever wrote one video game, and that was Advent Rising. Do either of y'all remember that game before I tell you who wrote it?
No, what is
Rising?
Advent Rising. I don't really remember. I never played it. I know it came out in like I think the early 2000s. It was one of those. I want to say it was one of those WoW killers where they were like, "Oh, this game's going to compete with WoW with Worldcraft," and it never did. But I could be wrong. I could be thinking of a different game. Anyway, the guy's name is Ramin Medbi, and the only other thing he would ever really write is Advent Rising.
All right.
There you go. There's our writers and our directors for Final Fantasy Spirits Within. The cast is full of a lot of people we've already talked about on this show.
Yep.
And some new people. So we got, first up, the main character of Aki, which is named after the director's mom, who died right before the filming of this movie started. So he named the main character after her. She was actually... It was sweet of him. It was nice, right? They were going to make her into a much bigger deal. She was going to like end up with a spinoff, and she was going to end up with like 3 or 4 other movies. They had like a whole plan for this character. And when we get to the background, we'll talk about how much money this movie cost. And a lot of it was just based on this idea of her being super successful. She's actually voted as one of the sexiest women of the year. That year, which according to Maxim, which is funny to me because she's not real.
I actually remember that Maxim cover.
Yeah.
No, I am not going to elaborate.
So we get her voice actor here is Ming-Na Wen. Ming-Na Wen. I'm not entirely sure. I can't read my own handwriting, so that's a problem. I had to scribble this down on a piece of paper because my dog, literally, our little pit bull that we've talked about on the show before, she decided to eat my notebook that had all my actual notes. That was nice of her. So we got Ming-Na Wen, and she was also in Mulan. She did voice acting there. She's done a lot of voice acting for a lot of Disney movies. She was in ER for a little bit.
She's in The
And,
Mandalorian too, I believe, right?
Yeah. She was also Chun-Li in Street Fighter, the first one, way back in the 80s. Yeah, or early 90s, was it? And yeah, I guess it would have been early 90s because Street Fighter wasn't out in the 80s. Yeah, so yeah, she's done a lot of things. She is the main character here of Aki, playing her love interest / totally not at all Commander Shepard in another universe. We'll talk about that because that connection has been made by other people as well. Is not at all a confirmed killer, but Alec Baldwin, who apparently keep him away from a pistol, and maybe he won't hurt you.
Maybe only have CGI weapons with that guy.
Yes, maybe only give him a CGI gun. Don't give him a real gun. He will not check that shit. He'll just fire. Yeah, that sucks that he did kill a person. There you go.
Yeah, he did indeed.
Alec Baldwin, and also. I believe he was like kind of an asshole to his daughter at one point and like kind of a jerk. I don't know if he's a good human being or not. He's probably not.
I think he's just an asshole, but he's from Boston.
He's a Hollywood actor.
He definitely seems like a Hollywood asshole. Like when I think of like Hollywood assholes, I think of most of the Baldwin brothers where I'm just like, they all
really,
seem like you're
man.
Just miserable dicks. Even Danny Baldwin. Like even him. All of them.
Now, I will say, I've always been a fan of Alec Baldwin. Like, I recently rewatched The Shadow, and I know everybody hates that movie. I know everybody hates that movie. I like it, but
you do like The Shadow. I do enjoy The Shadow. I have not seen it enough times to have an opinion on it, and I don't know if I ever will. I don't know if it intrigued me enough to follow it up with another watch. We do in this movie. We do have Marcellus Wallace himself. Ving Rhames shows up, which is a good time. A man we haven't talked about before yet, but we will talk about him more because he's also been in a couple other these post-apocalyptic movies.
It's unfortunate that Ving Rhames' first time on your show is this one.
This one, yeah, right.
We did talk about him before, but on Dom's podcast.
That's true. He was in Zombie Apocalypse with Dominic's Monster Movie Fun Time Go for his Halloween episode. I completely forgot he was in that movie.
Yeah, he was also in Dawn of the Dead too.
We haven't talked about
that one.
We're getting there.
Those are the good ones, but our intro to him in either place not so good. So
not so good. A guy that we have talked about before, Mr. Steve Buscemi.
Hell yeah.
We talked about him in Armageddon.
Definitely doesn't come off as a Hollywood asshole like the other guy.
No, Steve Buscemi seems like a cool dude. He was a firefighter before he got famous, and then became a firefighter again after 9/11 to help out.
Right around when this movie came out.
Yeah, when this. Yeah. He seems like a really nice dude. He's a cool dude.
One of my favorite quotes of his is he didn't know he was ugly until he started acting. And then they started telling him, and he's like, "What?
Well, when he was younger, he didn't really look that bad. He looked all right when he was young.
He's a unique looking dude.
And that's fine. Sure.
You can make that work for you. You can make that work.
I am the walrus.
I am the walrus. Shut the fuck up. He is not at all playing a character that would become Joker in a different movie or / video game series.
100% comic relief for sure.
Yeah. Next up is playing Dr. Sid, and he also has an airship, because why not, is Donald Sutherland, Kiefer's daddy himself, a guy that we will talk about again later with Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, yes.
Another good movie of his. And
classic.
Then we got the most villainous dude in the world who would be a villain in many, many other movies as well, James Woods.
A villain in real life. No,
he plays a great villain.
He does play a good bad guy. He's always a good bad guy. He's a great bad guy here. He's very campy and over the top. But you can totally tell he's a bad guy from a mile away in this movie.
Yeah, they did not do him any favors with his model for sure.
He's a video game bad guy,
especially because the video game or the movie model looks kind of like Alec Baldwin to me, so that threw me off.
Yeah, right. Alec Baldwin does not look like Alec Baldwin in this movie.
No,
for a second. Well,
and this kind of threw me off because I'm coming from this angle of nowadays where they do like performance capture, so like a lot of it, they look like how they, and at least they're like, at the very least, their facial movements are very close, and even if they don't entirely look like them, but this one was like nowhere near. I was like, that's not how Steve Buscemi talks. Like that's not what he looks like when he talks.
Not at all. Yeah. Next up, we got Keith David. I know it's pretty, but I didn't take it out for air himself.
My biggest complaint about this movie: not enough Keith David. Like
there honestly. Is not enough Keith David. He plays one of the council members, and then he kind of just fucks off in pretty much the rest of the movie, and that's like
I think
sucks.
he's just in 2 scenes, right?
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Not enough Keith David. Not enough
Keith David.
Need more Keith David.
Yes.
Last actor we'll talk about before we move on is John DiMaggio, who would be Bender in Futurama.
Hell yeah!
He shows up here as one of the. He does a lot of the extra voices around, so he's like does a lot of the none of the main cast, but some of the extras around there, around the sides of the movie.
The designated professional voice actor.
Yes. He was kind of a, I think he was. I mean, Futurama would become a big deal. So Bender was obviously one of the main characters.
He was also what Adventure Time. He was
Adventure
in there.
Time. He's done a ton of voices. He's one of those actors where if you look at their
Gears
credits,
of
you're
War.
Like, yeah, he's Once video games kind of relied on voice acting, I feel like a lot of those voice actors were like fucking ching, because it's like now you entered into a whole new world of where you can make money. Where it's like I could voice this character on this video game series. I can do this anime now. I can do this animated series. It's like, got a lot of places you could get some money from. Speaking of getting money, let's talk about the background of this movie, because these people lost a bunch of it. So let's see where it all went. So this cost 200 people 4 years to make the animation to be able to make this movie. Wow. And it took them 18 months to just make the software.
Oh.
So, 18 months to just make the software so that they could then make the movie.
That's pretty impressive, actually. I didn't realize.
Now, you guys do this more. You guys go into more of the history and what goes into making the movies. And all. Have you guys done another animated flick like this one yet?
Not quite. We did another. We've done some animated movies. We did like this 80s animated movie called When the Wind Blows from the United Kingdom, which was like really like hand drawn soft cell animation. We did an early anime with
the Wind Called Amnesia or something.
A Wind Called Amnesia, which was a piece of shit. But nothing.
Well, what I'm getting at is 200 people a lot for an animation studio. I don't know. I'm not the cinephile here. You guys are.
No, I don't know when it comes to animated movies. Like we've talked about in the show, neither one of us are big anime fans. So I don't know if that's a big amount. It seems like a lot.
It sounds like
a lot of people.
It sounds like a lot of people.
It sounds like a lot of people working for 4 years and just to make this thing that ended up not making anywhere near as much money as they thought it would. In fact, the producer of this was a guy named Chris Lee. And before the movie even came out, he was comparing it to Snow White for how important it would go on to be in terms of like animation in history of man.
Oh.
Off by just a little
bit.
Cotton. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays out for him. Yeah. Whenever my wife watched the trailer, she's like, it looks like it's a PS3 game. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of what it looks like now. Yeah, it hasn't aged super.
She's not wrong.
It doesn't look super advanced anymore. Now, in 2001, this looked fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like in 2001, you can't, if you weren't alive then, you can't appreciate that because you can't go back in time and like appreciate the fact that we had like Final Fantasy VII little anime sprites, and then in 8 they get a little bit bigger and they look a little bit more like humans. The graphics are improving, and then in a couple of years from the PS1 to like this, and you're like, holy shit. And now this looks bad. It's like, God, the computers have gotten very powerful. I get why people are scared of AI. It's like, yeah, this we can do some shit with this.
And what other CGI movies did we have at the time? Like Shrek, maybe that was the only thing we had.
Had Titan AE come out yet?
Oh, Titan AE. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
That's the only other one I could really ever compare to this movie. Not in terms of like how
like
it
a classic animation style.
Yeah,
right?
It was like just like it being like
the
big sci-fi animation though.
Yeah, I think a lot of them
I can think of.
They used a lot of CGI around it, but I think it was still like 2D kind of.
Yeah.
Did
Osmosis? No, Bug's Life. Yeah, I was gonna say Osmosis Jones used like real humans, and then it mixed with
Toy Story
animated.
came out pretty early.
Yeah, we're
in the
Toy Story had been out.
Pixar,
yeah, Pixar had done a lot of stuff by now.
So
there had been some other stuff, but this was like the first big like aimed at like video game nerds.
Yeah, and I think this was the first to like try more hyper realistic human figures, because I know like the others were more cartoony, So
I remember when this came out just being like super pumped that it was like a movie that seemed, at least at the time, I mean, I know now for like Gen Zers, like the kids I teach at high school, all of them play video games. The girls, the boys, everyone's playing video games. Whenever we were in school, the video game players were the nerds, and like people made fun of you for playing video games. It wasn't like just a thing that was considered like everyone's doing it. So when this movie came out, it was like, oh shit, they're making a fucking Final Fantasy movie like about the game that we've been playing every weekend together. Like, oh god, like that's cool as shit. So I was pumped to see this movie. And I remember going and seeing it and being confused as fuck and being like, what the hell did that have to do with Final Fantasy? How was that anything to do with Final Fantasy? I remember being so like, why didn't they just take the story of 7 and make it into a movie? Now I would have hated that. But anyway. So when this movie came out, there were some actors that were actually kind of scared because of the technology. They got to do like a sneak preview. And there were 2 actors that got to see the sneak preview because I think they wanted them to like hire them as cast members. Neither one of them became cast members, but my bet is that they like, hey, come to Hawaii so we can show you a little bit about like what we're doing here so that maybe you'd be interested. So they invited two actors and they invited a director. The director was pretty obviously a guy that James Cameron.
Wow.
Yeah, he has literally said like, this movie helped a little bit with him when it came to Avatar. Didn't give him the idea for Avatar, but kind of like helped him see like where technology was going, where he could be like, okay, I can one day do this Avatar movie that I have in the back of my mind. So it kind of helped him that. The 2 actors though were scared as shit and thought that this company was coming for like acting jobs because they were like, well, now you don't need us. You can just render all these lifelike models and we're going to be out of a job. The 2 actors
topical for today. Yeah,
very topical for today. Yeah. The 2 actors were Tom Hanks and Matt Dillon.
Oh
yeah.
All right.
Matt Dillon, I'm guessing would have been like the Alec Baldwin character. That'd be my thought, is like you replace him with Matt Dillon. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. You could replace Donald Sutherland with Tom Hanks. Yeah, kind of, That'd be my guess. At least. That'd be my guess, but I don't know. Neither one of them wanted anything to do with it. They both were like stormed out. And were like, "Fuck that, absolutely not." James Cameron was the only one who was like, "I got an idea." He's like, "I can think of something here. We're getting closer to the technology I need."
Which I finally have my blue cat people. Yes.
Blue cat, exactly. I mean, if you're going to make a movie involving like crazy ass technology in 2001, who are you going to? You're going to invite the guy that did Terminator 2, where he like invented so many fucking things to make that movie happen. Like, hey, bring in James Cameron. Got to bring in James Cameron. So they, like I said, they wanted the character of Aki to be in a bunch of different movies, but there was never going to be a video game. So even at the time, I remember thinking like, there's going to be a game that comes out about this movie. That was never the intent, ever.
Hold on a sec. Aki was going to be in other movies, like the character, or
yeah, they were going to understand this. Yeah, they were going to start putting her into other films. Like they were going to make her a character that would show up in other places. Her next character was going to be in the Animatrix. She was going to show up there.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, and then she was going to show up again in like another animated movie. So she was just going to kind of be this character that like reappeared. And they had some sequels in mind for this movie, but a video game was the thing that they like never had any intent for, which to me is just baffling. Because goddamn, could this easily have been a fucking video game?
So what I'm picturing now is that the actual character Woody would have been in Good Will Hunting or something. Is that what the goal was for this?
I think so. Basically, like, yeah, kind
that
of.
So strange. Yeah,
that's a weird idea. That's a weird idea. Yeah, that was a very strange idea. That seems to be kind of the goal, though. So, can y'all hear the dog barking like crazy?
I don't.
Oh, you don't hear? Okay.
Well, I hear a little bit.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I'll edit all that out. She is in there losing her fucking mind. I have no idea what the hell she's doing. She's just going nuts. Either, I guess my wife is outside or she's going to the bathroom, and yeah, our pit bull is just going through time of life. She's driving me fucking crazy. So back to the movie. This movie did completely kill off Squaresoft Pictures. It ended the director's career as well. He never did another movie ever again. He went back to video games, and he actually like wanted to do movies. That was kind of like one of his goals. Like he was kind of like, oh, I'm going to make these Final Fantasy games, and then I can move into like start doing like some movies and kind of make like more full-fledged like art. And then this movie bombed, and he was like, okay, back to my video games.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask that here because that's what I noticed in the opening credits. It said Square Pictures, and it's like, I've never heard of any other movie they've done. I guess
this is it. This is the only one. This is the only one. They were going to be collaborating with the Wachowskis to do Animatrix, but they ended up canceling all that, and another production studio took over, and they just kind of went forward with it. But yeah. Originally, the title of this movie was not Final Fantasy Spirits Within. Originally, the movie was just going to be titled Gaia. And there you go. Yeah,
well, I mean, that's my criticism. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that said it, that I think the movie would have done maybe better if it just didn't have the Final Fantasy moniker in ahead of it.
Yeah. As soon as you get rid of that and you lower those expectations, then it definitely kind of comes out a little bit better. So back to computers, I looked up like what kind of computers they were using, as I was just like curious, like what was the high tech in 2001? They
Windows XP.
They were using Pentium 3 processors, 960 of them bad boys. That was what they were using. Pentium 3.
Unlimited power.
Unlimited power. Speaking of unlimited power, it took 15 terabytes of data just for the art assets.
Damn, wow.
15 terabytes
for 2001? I mean, that's a lot now.
That is a lot now. Yeah, that would be a lot now. Yeah, my computer could hold nowhere near that. I would need several externals in order to pull that off. Yeah, definitely could not hold that much data. Yeah. So, like, the backgrounds were a mixture of digital assets from computers mixed with some live action film, mostly a lot of matte paintings where they had like painted the backgrounds, filmed it, and then animated against the backgrounds. But every single time you see someone's face move or their hand move in the movie, that had to be animated frame by motherfucking frame.
Ouch.
Which I'm sure took forever.
It's probably why it looked so strange in certain scenes.
Yeah. It's probably
very uncanny valley, I think is the term.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Actually, this movie is where one of those, like, kind of like that with that article that started the uncanny valley. It cites this movie as being one of the examples with her eyes. The beginning of the movie with her eyes. It's just being terrifying. Like, it's just terrifying. So, besides just making the movie, Squaresoft spent $45 million to build a film production studio in Hawaii, of all places.
Oof. You're looking for should have went with Iowa.
Should have went with Iowa. Yeah, if you're looking for cheap real estate, Hawaii is not the place to go.
Yeah, right.
They call it callback.
$45 million. It would close immediately after the film, so it was just around for about 5 years before the entire building was shut down. Yeah. No, I tried to look up. I could not find the address. I tried to look up the address of Squaresoft Hawaii so I could look to see what, like, is it a Spirit Halloween now? Like, what did it become? Is it a T-Mobile? Like, Boost Wireless?
In Halloween. All right, I'll stop.
What did it become? Yeah. So, like we said, more to like the technical part of it. This is where you get a lot of the background here. She has 60,000 different hair follicles in the film, and each one of them had to be animated separately.
Gross.
Could you imagine coming into work and your boss is like, all right, it's your job today to animate hair follicles 1 through 300.
Oh, God.
I quit.
Yeah, right.
And then at the end of the day, your work is totaled like 3 seconds of screen time, and you're like, yay.
So here's a fun fact about the hair mechanics in these movies, these animated movies. That's how they animated the grass in Shrek. It's hair. It's like it's like a hair asset or whatever.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
interesting.
So in 2012, jumping forward in the future a little bit, CNBC, the most trusted of all sources, they voted this as the 9th biggest box office bomb of all time, as the movie lost about somewhere between $94 and $104 million.
Good Lord.
So just a casual.
And that was the 9th?
Yeah, it was the 9th. That was the 9th.
Man.
Yes.
And half of that was their rent in Hawaii.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, exactly. That crazy ass building in Hawaii that they just had to have, desperately had to have. So the movie was a giant bust. And in spite of that, like I said at the beginning of it, it has kind of undergone a little bit of a critical reappraisal. Some of us millennials now kind of view it as like something a little bit more than maybe it was. I feel like I didn't hate this movie upon watching it this time, but it is not. I did not walk away from it being like that was a masterpiece.
No,
I have a lot of that.
The first time I watched it, like I said recently, I thought it was a masterpiece. But then going in with a clear head, and
But I didn't hate the movie. Other people that didn't hate it was Roger Ebert. There's Travis's favorite. He actually kind of liked the movie. He gave it a decent review when it came out. Yeah. He said that he thought it was not too bad.
That's a glowing.
Not too bad.
For him, that's a great review.
Not too bad. It has gone on to have more success in the world of video games, though. The creator of Mass Effect cited this as a major influence, and goddamn, can you fucking tell that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this might as well be like the unmade Mass Effect movie that came out, like 5 years before the first Mass Effect game did. Because it has a lot of strong similarities to Mass Effect in terms of like Commander Shepard. There's like Joker, the whole crew of the Normandy. Like there is
the parallels. The gear of the soldiers also looks very much like
the gear. Yeah. Some of the plot elements are like, with like the Zeus beam thing. And then similar to Mass Effect, it completely falls apart at the ending. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, at least the Zeus beam, whenever it's shown, it looks pretty cool.
It does look cool.
Unlike the big weapon at the end of Mass Effect, which just looks like a tampon applicator. So
it does look like
I'll at least give them that.
It does, yeah. They didn't fuck that up. Another game series that was influenced here and actually mentions this movie in their game is Life is Strange. I think Travis played that series.
I have played that, yeah.
Yeah. So apparently in the first one, when you're first meeting one of the characters, she mentions that they stayed up all night watching this movie and they loved it. Uh-huh. And that series was also made by Square, so a little bit of like a tell to themselves there.
Yeah.
So in spite of the movie losing a shit ton of money, it would actually make a shit ton of money on DVD. So this is one of the most successful DVDs ever made. Ever.
Wow,
end period. Yeah, the DVD is packed full of Easter eggs. There's a 2-disc version and a 1-disc version. The 2-disc version is the one you're after if you're a physical movie collector. There are Easter eggs galore. There's almost 190 hours of just extras and all kinds of Easter eggs you can unlock if you go and unlock. Remember when DVDs used to have bonus features you had to unlock by putting in like command codes in the screens?
I remember that.
Final Fantasy Spirits Within has like 20 of those where there's like
I accessed that Maxim cover I was talking about earlier. That was definitely in there.
That was in there. I was going to say that was one of the things you could access. Yeah, the DVD was jam packed full of extras that you could unlock. It actually won a bunch of awards for how good the DVD quality was, which makes sense. I mean, the movie bombed. I imagine Square was like, shit, we got to put something together to get these kids to get back into this. So let's throw together maybe one of the best DVDs ever made. I'm going to say that. Like in terms of how much bonus content you get, like if you loved this movie, then they rewarded you for loving this movie. Here is like everything you would ever want to know and all the background stuff and anything ever. And the same thing with the Blu-ray and the 4K now that recently came out. And I'm imagining when the 25-year or 30-year anniversary comes out, whatever they do, that will also probably be packed full of special features. Something to keep an eye on if you
I was about to say, I think I'm going to keep my eye out for that.
Yeah. So December of 2021, by that point, so the movie came out in July of 2021. The DVD came out in about September, I think. maybe November. But by December of 2021, the movie on DVD sales alone had made $26.6 million, which is about 80% of what it made in theaters by itself during its entire theatrical run. And that was just in a couple of months on DVD. So, yeah, it did bomb at the box office, but it ended up making its money on DVD. Because, like I said, the people that like this movie really like this movie. And some of them we might be pissing off now. Speaking of getting pissed off, let's kind of end by talking one last time about the writing before we get into the music of 2001. I got something special planned tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah, something a little different for my friend Jamie here because
good.
I know what kind of music you like. This movie had 50 different drafts for the writing. So we talked about how it would get translated back and forth. Yeah. Now imagine doing that 50 times.
The world's most complicated game of telephone right there.
Yeah. Right? That would just be absolutely maddening. And because of all the translating back and forth, some things got cut out and completely left off. And so one of those things is a huge detail, and it completely makes the third act make a little bit more sense. So the end of this movie is kind of where this movie falls apart a little bit. It's not bad until you get to the end. Like, up until then, it's a decent little animated film, and then you get to the end of the movie, and you're like, what in the absolute fuck is going on? That is because she is supposed to be pregnant.
Oh, that's what I didn't get when I was a kid. Yeah. But when I was rewatching it, I was like, is she pregnant?
Yeah. So as an adult, you're like, okay, the way they're acting, they give you signs, but they completely cut out all the dialogue where they even talk about it. And if you watch it, like when she gets hit by the phantom, it hits her stomach and it makes like a different color.
Yeah.
Because the eighth spirit is supposed to be her baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that was
all of that
played out
all
well.
of that was removed. They cut out all of that dialogue. So instead you're just left being like, what? What the fuck? Like, what is going on? Yeah, so that's why the ending kind of completely...
Jesus, apparently, is what they were going for, huh?
Gaia Earth Jesus, yeah, exactly. Speaking of Gaia Earth Jesus, that would have made a great title for one of the albums that came out this year in 2001, because this movie came out on July 13th, 2001, right there in the middle of 2001, just before September 11th. The music that was popular at the time, not really all that interesting. But 2001 is a hell of a year to talk about one thing and one thing only. And since we have Jamie on here, he is my heavy metal friend. And we cannot talk about 2001 without talking about heavy fucking metal. So here are just the heavy metal albums that came out in 2001 alone. Now, you and I were in high school, or almost in high school. We were like junior high, like 7th, 8th grade. Yeah, we were 8th grade.
I was in high school.
You were in high school. We were in like 8th grade. Yeah. That makes sense. I'm trying to put the math together in my head.
Yeah, did you get your AARP card in the mail yet, Travis? I know it's in there.
You better believe it. Oh, I did take my blood pressure med, by the way. So
thanks.
Good.
Nice. Check that off the to-do list.
Yep.
You have one of those little pill organizers yet?
You goddamn know I do.
Is it a 3-layer or just the 1 layer of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday?
I have 2 different ones. This one's just a 1 layer. But the other one, I don't take those meds anymore, so I don't need it. So this is just once a day.
Well, is it color coded for day, afternoon, night too?
One of them is, yes.
Travis is old.
It sounds pretty snazzy. Hey, I'm beating around that corner. I'll be there soon enough. So 2001, we didn't listen to all of these albums at this time, but we were listening to several of these in 2001. Here are some of the heavy metal albums that came out during that time. We got POD put out Satellite.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, there you go. Youth of a Nation. I remember that song being a big one.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Ozzy Osbourne, R.I.P. He put out Down to Earth. Not one of his better albums, but that's got some okay songs on Down to Earth. Mm-hmm. I didn't mind that one. Megadeth. Solid Ozzy album. Megadeth put out The World Needs a Hero. That's the one where the guy's like crawling out of the other guy on the cover.
Gotcha.
I remember that one.
Yeah. Not the best Megadeth album either.
The Ozzy cover, I believe it's like him, like with his arms stretched, and there's a weird blue light behind him, or is that Down to Earth?
That's it. That's it. That's Down to Earth. Yep. A band that I guess just recently broke up. They put out their second EP at the time. It's just called Mastodon's second EP. But yeah, Mastodon put out their second EP.
Mastodon broke up? No,
I believe they did break up. Yeah, I believe they're over. I think one of them's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, I forget which one exactly. I didn't listen to a whole lot of that one until pretty recently, but yeah. But they're growing on me.
Kitty put out Oracle. There's a band that my sister used to like.
I saw them in concert.
Yeah, I was never a big Kitty fan. It never really did it for me. Like, it had its novelty, chicks playing metal. They had that one song that was kind of okay.
Canadians playing metal.
Canadians playing metal, yeah. What was that one song that they had that was kind of popular? There's only one song I ever know. Brackish, yeah. I was like, that's the only song I know.
Yep.
That's the only fucking one.
It was awesome.
Tool put out Lateralus, so you got a little prog metal there.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of Iowa, earlier, another callback. Slipknot put out Iowa.
Yeah, you can't talk about 2000s metal without like Slipknot. It's just it's not an option.
Yeah. You can't. I'm not the biggest fan of Iowa. I know that Slipknot fans are going to call blaspheme on that one, but I like Slipknot's one of those bands that if some of their songs I like, and a lot of their songs that just don't do anything for me.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. Yeah, I think Left Behind is the only one on that album that I even know offhand.
Yeah, that's the only one that I can really stand out to me. Yeah, their first album I liked a little bit more, but I love that dude's voice. Like, I think he has an amazing fucking voice, especially when he actually sings.
Yeah,
that's
his clean
amazing.
Voice is pretty good. Yeah. Corey Taylor, I believe.
Corey Taylor. My favorite Slipknot songs are when he just like Before I Forget, when it's just him singing. It's fucking amazing. I love it, but I just I want
the clean
that
part
with
of Wait and Bleed too from their first album.
Yeah, Wait and Bleed, another like the clean parts. Yeah, but I don't like him whenever he does like his slow shit with Stone Sour. Is that it? Right?
Oh no,
yeah. I saw Stone Sour live. They opened for Stone Sour live. Right? They opened for Ozzy whenever we saw him in Denver.
Yeah,
I liked it more than I thought I would. I'll be honest.
Okay, I have to see them. Maybe they're better live. Yeah. Well, so Slipknot put out Iowa. Another big one we had was System of a Down with Toxicity.
Yeah,
hell yeah, that's the one we were listening to.
Even if you weren't a metalhead, you had that album burned in your book.
Pretty much, yeah. I remember distinctly listening to that in 8th grade, like that being like on an early one that we got really into right away.
For sure.
One that we got into later on, which I don't know if we're allowed to talk about him anymore, but Iced Earth put out Horror Show, which is one of my favorite Iced Earth albums. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Iced Earth albums.
Yep.
That's a good one. I like that album. Yeah. Well, we'll just move on to other topics. How about Slayer? God Hates Us All. They put that one out. I'm sure that's more politically correct to talk about, right? The lead singer of Slayer doesn't have any political viewpoints that are problematic.
Oh no, his closet is free of skeletons completely.
Exactly. Nothing wrong there.
Literal and metaphorical.
We also got Gwar, which is a band that I don't really care for, but I think that their live show would be fun to watch, but like just listening to them doesn't do as much for me.
A buddy of mine back then went to a Gwar show, and he was like, it was like a week after, and he was still like, his skin was still dyed red from all the blood sprayed out in the audience.
He was in the splash zone, huh? That's unfortunate.
Oh, he was.
There was a bar here in Memphis that had Insane Clown Posse play, and they sprayed so much Faygo, people's shoes got stuck to the fucking floor. They had to like just abandon their shoes. Like,
oh man,
so you couldn't even leave because you were at an ICP concert.
So the bar was like, no more ICP, no more Faygo. Like, never again. Cannot come here. So yeah, Slayer, God Hates Us All, Gwar, Violence Has Arrived. That was the name of the album. A band that at the time I didn't listen to this band, and I didn't listen to them until last year was the first year I actually really got into them. And that was Opeth with Black Water Park.
Yeah,
that was an album.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate Opeth until recently. That's a band that, very, very good shit. I should have listened to them much, much earlier. I that's one of those regrets where I was like, damn, Opeth is good as hell. Did not know that. Next up is Fear Factory with Digimortal. Kind of like a little bit of grind
metal. We were doing our rounds with the garage
metal
band. One of the bands that was playing with us said I looked like the guy from Fear Factory.
All right.
And I'm like, I don't know whether to take that a compliment or not, so I'm just going to say thank you for now.
Oh yeah, by the way, me and Jamie did play in a metal band together for a little while.
Oh yeah, we sucked, but it was fun.
Yeah, we did have a collapse live on stage on our last show. That was a fun time.
That was good.
Yeah, that was a good time. Story for a different day. It'll go way off topic here.
Absolutely.
Next up, we got two more. Arch Enemy with Wages of Sin.
Solid.
And the last one was that put out a really decent heavy metal. This isn't the last one. There were a lot of other bands too, but these are just the ones that I thought were interesting to talk about. Last one is another band that I didn't get into when I was in 8th grade. Surprise, surprise. But maybe I would have if I had access to the internet and knew about Dimmu Borgir and their album Puritanical Euphoric Misanthropia.
Yes.
I believe they're Norwegian black metal. I might be getting my Scandinavian countries mixed up.
I believe they are Norwegian,
Solid stuff there.
They're awesome. So, though 2001, Sacrilege of Scorn, that's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a good one. Yeah, so 2001 was a killer year for heavy metal. There's a lot of good heavy metal albums that came out in 2001.
Yeah,
I can't tell you like 5 that came out in 2025 that I really liked. Maybe I just don't listen to enough metal anymore.
I don't listen to any music that came out in 2025.
Was like 30 in 2001 that I could be like, yeah, those were really good. But now I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old. I should listen to more music. If you got good metal recommendations, leave them in the comments below. You know, there's we call that audience engagement for the algorithm.
Nice. It's just going to be me on my multiple accounts.
There you go.
I like it.
Love some sock puppet accounts commenting to themselves. That's always fun. We're going to take a little break and come back and actually talk about the plot of the movie, Final Fantasy Spirits Within. See y'all in just a second.
Orson Welles. I direct films and act in them. What we're always trying for, of course, is perfection. In a film, that's only a hope. But with
Final Picture Show podcast,
you can rely on it. Perfection.
Next week on the show, we will be back with another guest, another one of our good friends, my friend Chris. He's going to talk to us. Chris is going to come talk, and he's originally going to join us to talk about A Wind Named Amnesia, and watching the movie put him in the hospital. So he texted me and said, not fucking that again. So instead, we're going to watch something good for once.
Whoa, on this
podcast, something wildly accepted as just good by pretty much most people. And we're going to watch Starship Troopers.
Oh, hell awesome. Yeah.
We're doing our part.
Another one that I know. Nice.
There you go. Yeah. Every now and then we dip into the mainstream. We dip our toes. Then we go back to our little creek where we feel welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to come talk about Starship Troopers with Chris. I wanted to watch a Warhammer movie with him because obviously he's like the Warhammer guy in the world.
He's the guy, yep.
He is the guy. Yeah, but unfortunately... there aren't really any good Warhammer movies, and the only one that's worth watching is like a 3-hour-long fan movie. And I watched the first hour of it, and it was good, but I could not do 2 more hours of it. And I was like, this is too long. I can't do this. So, in spite of that, I was like, what's the best other Space Marine movie ever made? And Starship fucking Troopers. So there you go. So it kind of fits the motif perfectly. So next week we'll be back to talk about Starship Troopers. See y'all then. From the break, y'all, let's get into the plot of Final Fantasy Spirits Within. Truth be told, my notes for this are not as detailed as they normally are, so I am relying on the glorious website known as Wikipedia for some assistance here, because parts of this movie, my eyes were just like glazed over. There's not enough drugs I could find to make me focus and pay attention on what the fuck was happening.
The first half of it, that $2 they're asking for them.
Exactly right. Yep. They're $2.19. Yeah. There were parts of it that I was like, oh yeah, I really like this part. I remember this part, and then there were other parts where I was like, what in the fuck is happening? Like, what are they talking about? Spirits and the earth spirit and the eighth spirits, and she's sick. Why is she sick? Oh, God. Anyway, so we start with her in a dream, which is a thing that does happen in some Final Fantasy games. So a lot of people accuse this movie of not having anything at all to do with Final Fantasy. I was definitely in that group in 8th grade. Now I'm like, yeah, this movie does have a lot of Final Fantasy-isms. Like, it's got Sid, you got dreams, you got a story that makes virtually no fucking sense. It takes, at the time, like, no Final Fantasy games had, like, quote unquote taken place on our Earth. Like, they'd taken place on, like, a universe that was similar to Earth, but they didn't have, like, any Earth-like trademarks that would have been like, like Final Fantasy VIII, you don't see Squall drive into, like, fucking Chicago, right? It would have been cool if he did, though. But, like, since this movie came out, they've done, like, things similar. Like, in one of the fucking Final Fantasies, you drive in a goddamn car. Like, at this point, yeah, it's like, at this point, they've kind of just embraced, like, it could take place on something kind of approaching Earth. So that was one of people's complaint, is that, like, Final Fantasy doesn't take place on Earth. It's like, that's a little nitpicky. Like, it takes place on an Earth-like area. Like, it's fine. Who gives a shit? But we do have phantoms here, and not the Ben Affleck kind.
He was the bomb in Phantom Show.
He was the bomb in Phantom Show, yes. But here, the Phantoms have invaded Earth, and they can't really see them at sometimes, and sometimes when the plot is convenient for them, they can. Yeah. When they've gone through the zone layer of defense, so it's whatever. You just want to make it to where you got tired of having to animate them. I get it. It was probably exhausting. Just fucking make them see through. Like, goddamn. Yeah, I will say, like, the Phantoms do look cool. Like, they are interesting to look at.
Oh, yeah.
They're cool looking.
Especially the foot soldiers. I think Blizzard might have a case, though, for suing for copyright infringement. Those look like they're straight Brood War, man.
They do look straight from Brood War. Yeah. I'm imagining one of the many, many people rocking one of those Pentium 3s was playing Brood War on the other screen during their 20-hour work days.
In 2000, 2001, for sure, it happened.
Yeah. There were some StarCraft LAN parties happening after work, I'm guessing. So I would not at all doubt that finds its way in here. There's a lot of shit that finds its way in here. And there's so much of this that finds its way into Mass Effect that it is really silly to me, because, like, Mass Effect 1 is not my favorite. I think it has aged a little poorly compared to the others, but I love Mass Effect 2. I even kind of like Mass Effect 3, and I might be one of the only...
2007, I believe, not to cut you off, but
it
does 100% feel like a game from 2007, even
though it does. And then, like, 2 is from, like, what, 2010, 2009, something like that.
Yeah, 2010, 2011.
Yeah, and you can tell that, like, at that point, BioWare had, like, figured out the RPG system they like to use, because Mass Effect 2 to me is like it has that Dragon Age system that I like, but Mass Effect 2 is like almost the perfect version of it. Almost. I think that Mass Effect 3's combat is a little bit better. It's just the story in Mass Effect 3 is a little bit weaker than Mass Effect 2, but I think the combat in Mass Effect 3 is a lot, like, smoother.
Yes,
and how, like, fast you're able to move around. And then Andromeda I actually like Andromeda.
I do too, man. I don't know why it gets all the hate.
A lot of people hate it.
I guess it's because of the graphical issues when it launched. It had some bugs, but
yeah,
I think it did a good job of setting the groundwork for a new series for sure.
Which sucks, because I think that's like the end of it. I don't think we're ever going to get another one after that, especially now that EA is owned by the Saudis, right?
Well, they are working on a Mass Effect 4 or 5, whatever you want to call it. They're just being very hush-hush on it.
I was going to say, so many of these video game companies are getting bought up by the Saudi Arabians that, like, Final Fantasy might be owned by Saudi Arabia by the time we get done recording this podcast. Right. Like, they're just buying up everything, yeah. So there are some Final Fantasy isms here that are kind of fun to talk about. And there's a lot of Mass Effect isms, too, which are also fun to talk about. So the plot basically is the year is 2065, which, god damn it, we're coming up to.
Oh god, yeah, we are.
We might actually see that year.
We might live.
Hey, if I have to be a head in a jar, I'll make it.
God willing.
I just want to live to see the next Halley's Comet, and then I can die in my backyard. That'd be pretty
when's
cool.
that?
It is in the 2060s, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Hey, that's only like 40 years from now. I mean, I think
maybe
we'll be okay.
Maybe we can make it.
Knock on wood. We'll see.
2061 is the next time it's
2061. So there you go. It's not too far away. Yeah. So 2065, and Earth has been taken over by some alien life forms known as the Phantoms, yo. And then we get they consume the Gaia which is like the blue thing that comes out of people whenever they kill them.
Now, can they see that? Is that invisible, or do they see that too? I was confused.
I know.
Okay, that one.
Yeah. Okay. Does just the audience see that, or does the character also? I have the same.
I guess everyone sees it. I'm thinking like everyone sees like the blue essence leave them.
Well, here's my reasoning on asking that is because they're so dismissive of this idea of spirits, and they're like, you can't even say that. Like it's
how dare you?
Yeah, it's like it's like what did he liken himself to as Galileo or
when he was telling her to destroy her notes or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. He told her to destroy your notes, remember everything in your head, so they can't use it against you.
So I imagine they can't see that, because surely that's pretty good fucking proof of like, I think they're spirits.
You could just say that it's like the Phantoms, the way they attack and chemical reaction when it hits the body. I mean, you can make up a ton of shit.
You can make up whatever you want. I mean, just like the fact that the human body sometimes weighs an increment of grams different than when it was alive versus when it was dead is enough for people to justify, or enough for people to base an entire theology off of. So like you can use tiny little justifications for any kind of like
that's
thing
probably
you want to.
Emptying your
it's probably someone taking a dump,
emptying bladder and bowel,
Yeah, but it's like, he weighs 3.3 grams. That's the weight of the human soul. It's like, I think that's the weight of a solid bowel movement.
That's a really low bowel movement. I'm just saying.
It's a small bowel. It's a small bowel.
Mine aren't measured in the single grams, boys and girls. I don't know if yours are.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, right.
We went to a poop joke. Let's go.
That's where the money's at. The dick and fart jokes.
There it is.
So is what Granny says. So the Phantoms are basically killing the people in the world, and there's these like little enclaves, these little cities that are where humans are still surviving, and they're protected by these energy shields. Don't ask us about the science of it. We're not going to fucking explain any of it, because the movie doesn't explain any of it. Somehow these energy shields, somehow this works. We don't know. We can't really, I don't know. And yet, in spite of being able to like prevent them from attacking in tremendous fashion, like they can't get in until they let them later on. They apparently struggle greatly with killing the fucking things, because they only have the weapon known as this Zeus cannon, which is somewhere up in the orbit, I guess. I guess it's owned by Elon Musk. I don't know. It's somewhere up in the orbit. It's one of the many, many Starlink satellites.
It's the X cannon is what it is.
It's the X cannon. How dare you talk shit about my kids? The X cannon is up in space, and that's what they're trying to use to eventually we see it used. But the premise of the movie is that we got these two groups. One is like pro X cannon, and the other is like, no, let's talk about the X cannon and how it could damage the Earth's Gaia, because the Earth has a spirit, don't you know? And Dr. Sid says this during a council meeting, and you would have thought he's talking about Earth being round to a bunch of flat earthers, just like the shocks and the horrors. Yeah. So Dr. Sid and Aki, our main character, they're a little like almost like father-daughter pair kind of thing. They're not, but that's like the relationship kind of. Like he's like warning her to like stay away from Commander Shepard, or whose name is Ryan, but don't go near Commander Shepard, because I know you got the hots for him, and how could you not? He's the hottest thing on the Citadel. He is. You seen his dance moves? They're fucking killer.
They're phenomenal.
Phenomenal. And so, like, that's basically the premise of the movie. we start with like these random dreams that she keeps having, keep getting thrown in there, that just mix things up. I don't know. The middle of the movie kind of begins to lose me. So what are your thoughts on the beginning of the movie, Travis?
I sort of understood what was going on, but then again, I had all those questions of like, well, I can see the spirits. Can they not? They're not explaining that they can't see them. So, I will say, I mean, I was following it, and it was pretty all right. I was a little thrown off because I was like waiting for, my turn to start in StarCraft or something, like the
StarCraft
cinematic
isn't turn-based, you Philistine.
Well, I meant to say I was waiting for the cinematic to end so that I could get started, and I needed more spires. But that's a thing, right? I didn't play much
pylons, sir.
Pylons, god damn it!
I'm not going to keep correcting you.
Oh boy. But and then when they started getting into like the dreams and stuff, that's when it really felt like StarCraft for me. So I was like, oh, it's I recognize those.
Yeah.
But
Jamie, thoughts?
My plan originally was to write a lot of detailed notes on this flick, just so I can have more to talk about and remember, but I failed miserably. The only note I have from the beginning of the beginning of the movie is just one simple sort of equation: gelatinous cube greater than normal parachute, from whenever they're dropping from the ship.
Yeah,
but it does a decent job of setting up some mystery and some fear about the world that you're in. But
the beginning of it is pretty.
It kind of goes off.
Yeah, I was gonna say the beginning of it is pretty good. Like it's not too bad, and like the beginning, like once you meet the council, that's all fine. You get introduced to the villain. It's James Woods. He's very clearly the villain. He's like a digital approximation of Hitler. Just take all the swastikas off, make him wear black leather, make him real evil for no fucking reason.
He was wearing black leather, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The black leather jacket. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I believe he had like a product in his hair slicked back, like an old school gangster.
He is literally a Final Fantasy villain, and then you realize, this is a Final Fantasy movie, and you're like, oh shit. Well, there you go.
Just it kind of tells you. Color and give him sunglasses, and he looks a lot like Wesker for me.
I was about to say he also could easily be a Resident Evil villain.
Yes,
Resident Evil. We talked about the first Resident Evil movies. The first Resident Evil movie. We haven't talked about any of the other Resident Evil movies. We'll have to have you back on. We talk about a couple of the other ones because you and I also saw a few Resident Evil movies in theaters together.
I think we saw these two pretty much back to back, didn't we? Resident Evil 1 and this one.
Pretty much. Mickey was also involved in a couple of those as well. Whenever we saw him, whenever we went and saw a couple of these, he was there for a few of them.
One of the people we both know.
There you go. The parallel lives.
Like we came up in the same city or something. Weird.
How did they know? I think we saw them around the same time. But like Resident Evil, some of the Final Fantasy games, the stories don't make a lot of fucking sense. Like, I've played a lot of the Final Fantasy games. Not all of them have bad stories, but a lot of them have really fucking stupid stories. The story of Final Fantasy X is kind of fucking stupid. It's not like this like genius masterpiece, like prize winning writing. Like it's a fine story. It's a fine video game. It's a very video gamey. This movie is kind of video gamey. Like you could easily see like, oh, we have to go find the 8 spirits. Like, okay, whenever she is shooting the little laser beams into his body after he's contaminated, you could imagine that would have been an annoying ass minigame.
Yep, that was my second of 2 notes is surgery via frickin' laser beams is what I wrote.
Yes. Yeah. It's very silly. Yeah, very, 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 very silly. But the beginning of it is, like I said, compared to the second half, I think the beginning of it's pretty good.
Yes.
The movie kind of falls apart whenever they go on their second mission, which is just set up by James Woods, who apparently knows he's evil. And it's just doing evil shit to do evil shit. Because none of his plans really make a lot of fucking sense after this point. And he even acknowledges that. Like, he'll destroy something and be like, my God, what have I done? And I'm like, I don't know. Why did you do any of this fucking shit? Why are you doing any of these things?
Just Michael Bay explosions. That's just his only strategy.
His whole thing is well, I want to use the big fucking X cannon in the sky to shoot a fucking hole in the goddamn planet. And the doctor's yeah, that would work. But we don't know if it would also destroy part of the planet. And his well, I don't really give a shit. Let's just do it anyway.
Well, I mean, let's be real. If any one of us were in charge of the giant X cannon in space, we would want to shoot it too. Just be real.
Oh, yeah. I
mean, you don't build a giant X cannon in space unless you're going to shoot it.
Plot twist is that X cannon wasn't made by SpaceX. It was actually made by the Boring Company.
Yeah. So the entire movie, you're oh yeah, that giant fucking laser is definitely going to come back again. And it does. Because they're too scared to let him shoot it, and so he's going to shoot it anyway.
I was about
Chekhov's
to say
X cannon.
Could have just named him Chekhov because he's I'm going to shoot it.
He's going to fucking shoot it, yeah. The movie falls apart around the time when they start getting into what the eighth spirit is, and how they have to find it to save Aki because she's dying of what? I don't fucking know. I have no idea. Apparently she has a phantom already in her because she doesn't want to go through the security clearance, and she has Sid looking out for her. And she's also falling in love with Commander Shepard because how could you not? But meanwhile, the rest of the crew of the Normandy doesn't really trust her. This could have easily been a side mission on one of the many, many, many side missions in Mass Effect 2 or 3. This could have totally been a side mission. Shepard falls in love with a dangerous woman. That would have lasted a couple hours.
You got to get the secret dossier of the romance for this one. The awkward romance.
The awkward romance, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of how we set up towards the end is there's this tension between the crew of the Normandy and the evil James Wood, who has the giant X cannon in the sky. What is going to happen? Well, the movie kind of fucks up in just making it a very simple story. And instead, all kinds of just dumb shit happens where James Woods, apparently his character just decides he's going to let in the phantoms because this will allow the council to see that he needs to be able to have complete power to shoot the X cannon.
What parallel would there be in 2001 for someone allowing a horrible event to happen where so that they could get their act of war?
Oh, don't get me started on this, Travis. I'm going to get you guys banned. Yeah, don't even get me going on this.
Oh, no, I have no basis. What am I talking about? There's no connection.
He had nothing to do with it. Ixnay on the speak day of the bush
show, boys. Okay.
He had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it at all. What are you talking about? He's a good man.
I've been sitting on that one a while, so.
He was on his ranch. He was just hanging out. Having a good time.
The meteorite was a controlled demolition. Didn't you know that?
Yeah. So basically, the phantoms are let in, which doesn't go according to plan, and results in who would have thought, which results in many, many, many people dying.
Isn't it all of New York? Didn't
pretty much, yeah. Pretty much the new New York, the new New York.
You couldn't have done it to new Des Moines, back to Iowa. Hey-o.
Yeah. So they do go to Tucson at one point.
I'll be really embarrassed if Des Moines isn't in Iowa, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I think it is. I think
Des Moines is in Iowa, yeah.
I think your geography lesson passed that one.
I learned geography from Pogs, speaking of.
Well, you know that play I was in, that takes place in Iowa, and one of the songs, they talk about Des Moines. So, yeah, they list out names. It all goes full circle. Well, yeah, they go to Tucson, and I made a note of Tucson didn't change any, so
yeah, Tucson looks like a shithole. Yeah, it looked awful. Yeah, the ruins of Tucson. Yeah,
it's an upgrade, if anything.
Right. Well, I like what they've done with the place.
They finally got their wall.
James Woods, the evil man himself, Sephiroth, he's going to use the X cannon to shoot it into the hive that the Phantoms kind of mostly reside in. Well, at the same exact time, though, Aki and the crew of the Normandy realize the 8th spirit that we need for whatever fucking reason. We just need it. We got to complete this side quest to move the story along. It is also inside of the hive. Oh, God, what a thing. So they have to go in there, and them getting there is kind of fun with Sid like flying them down and then having to like drop them off. But then it gets into like weird, her having dreams and shit, and the whole thing just kind of begins to fall apart and unravel.
Because they said like the 8th. Did they say the 8th spirit was like a phantom? So it was one of them.
Yeah, it's one of the because each spirit is supposed to be like a unique life form on Earth.
Yeah. Well, because okay, so at a certain point they do explain that the phantoms they are actually spirits of just creatures from another world that I guess died on this like asteroid or whatever, and they're like and then
they landed on Earth, motherfucker.
But somehow an even worse ghost of Mars.
Yeah. That part I was like, oh, okay. So it wasn't intentional. Okay. So it was just like, we're the assholes again, like, oh, they're just wayward spirits killing everyone. Come on. Give them a break.
Then she has a vision where she goes to their home planet, and that's where she finds the 8th spirit at.
Mm-hmm.
At least I think that's what's fucking supposed to be happening at the end of the movie. I don't. The end of the movie is one of those things where up until then I was like, okay, I'm with this movie. It's like a Mass Effect movie that never existed.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it gets real fucking Final Fantasy. Like we take a hard swerve into some heavy Japanese philosophy things where I'm like, there's like she's traveling to different worlds in her dreams, and there's the Earth spirit and the God spirit, and she's pregnant with a child maybe. And the whole movie is I'm just like same thing that happened with Final Fantasy X. I'm like, God, this could have been a lot easier if you just made this so much simpler. I have no idea why you had to make this so goddamn complicated. Like, why did we need to make this so complicated?
That must have been part of the passing back and forth, like
because we're not even done yet. She still has to combine the 8th spirit, which she somehow got from a phantom planet that she mind jumped to via PTSD dream after she's almost killed. So then she combines the spirits, and then Shepard sacrifices himself because of course he does. He chose the red option.
Yep.
So he sacrifices himself because he loves her. Yeah. I guess. I don't know. Kind of. Question. Yeah. Their whole relationship could have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
Explained. But also, like, I'm sure the acting was not easy to do because none of these people were on set at the same time. And they were called in, like, within months to do the voice acting. Yeah. So I'm sure this was probably a paycheck and thought of as nothing else than that.
Yeah, that definitely.
As some of the voice reads here kind of track like that. There's some Alec Baldwin whenever he's like screams, whenever Not At All Barrett gets killed by the Phantoms, and he just goes, Ryan! Yeah, that was pretty bad. The best line read was Steve Buscemi when they're in the jail, and it's like, proceed to the emergency exit now. Proceed to the emergency exit now. And Steve Buscemi goes, I think we should proceed to the emergency exit now. That was good. That was a good line read. That was a good line read. I thought that was very funny, yeah. Honestly, Steve Buscemi might be the best person in this entire movie.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't think of anyone better than that. Like, anyone better than the movie than him. James Woods isn't bad here. He's pretty good in this movie,
He's pretty good. He's giving it,
He's hamming it up like fun. He's doing his best Hades in Hercules, where he's just having fun.
I don't know how you chew the scenery in an animated flick, but I think James Woods kind of did it there.
He's definitely pulling it off. Yeah. So after Gray, but after he sacrifices himself, is he the final spirit? because he sacrifices himself.
I think you're right with the phantom being the pregnancy. Yeah. I think something like that was the final
spirit was the friends we made along the way. So,
so yeah, and then I guess he's dead. Yeah. And then she pulls him out of the hole, and then we pan up and we see a bird, and then the movie ends.
Yeah,
there you go. That's it.
I think the last line, I could be wrong, but I think the last line in it is when all the spirits are being released and Dr. Sid is out in there like playing with them, I guess.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it's warm, and then credits. Like, what?
It's warm. Credits.
What?
Yeah, because that was like a thing that came out of him, I guess. Yeah, that was weird.
I think it was coming out of the earth. I think that's what they were trying to do. Yeah, it's
like the earth. The earth is like the earth spirit is being reborn, don't you know?
I thought like maybe Goku was building his spirit bomb or something.
That would have been a better ending, I think.
Right?
That would have been fun.
Instead of the X cannon, just an evil James Woods in space, just stealing all the energy and throwing a giant bomb at the earth.
Oh, man.
I think that would be great.
We're making a better Final Fantasy movie, yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh, God. So, yeah, I guess, final thoughts on this Final Fantasy movie. Jamie, go ahead. Lead us off.
Yeah, I'm just going to pretty much close with my one and only note from the ending. I had no notes for the middle, 2 notes for the beginning, and 1 note from the end. It was... So apparently, if I'm understanding this right, there was like a chunk of rock from the Phantom's home planet flying through space, hit the Earth, and that's what caused all this. Yeah. And I guess the rock had enough Phantom ghosts on it or whatever for a semi-invasion that completely destroys the world or whatever. But when it actually showed the Phantom rock Gaia, I guess the alien Gaia, the only thing I wrote down was it's kind of a niche community I'm going to be drawing from here, but I wrote down mystery flesh pit ? Are you guys familiar with that kind of creepypasta type thing?
No, I'm not.
It's like a semi-horror, semi-sci-fi giant pit of living flesh in West Texas. And it's like a living Eldritch being or something.
I was going to say, don't we live there?
Yeah, we kind of do. Yeah. That's what drew me to it, as it was in there. But yeah, that's the only thing I got for the end.
I'm going to have to look that up, yeah.
I didn't even say I'm definitely curious about that.
It's definitely a read, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said in the beginning, that I'm not the first one to make this comment, and I'm sure I won't be the last, but I think the movie would have done just fine if it was just called The Spirits Within. I think Gaia would have been a little bit too on the nose and kind of lame, but yeah, I don't hate it. I don't love it. And from what I was reading, like Matt was alluding to, it kind of paved the way for later motion capture and later CGI and all that. So yeah, I think it does have its place in the annals of video history, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, maybe not quite up there with Snow White, though, but it definitely...
That was a hell of a reference to compare yourself to. Yeah.
It was definitely... It's definitely something to pull from, right? It's swinging for the big one right away. Travis, what were your thoughts on this film?
Yeah.
This is your first time ever watching
First time ever watching
it? As a 40-year-old man.
It's a 40-something-year-old man.
Come on.
2001 Lost Media.
42.
You got it wrong. He was born in the 1940s, Matt. It's okay.
I am an old soul, and body. But no, for the first time watching, I mean, I was aware of this movie and I was aware of the hype, and for some reason, I just never watched it. I genuinely don't know why, but because there was plenty of opportunities, but for some reason, it just went right by me. But watching it now, definitely hard to contend with all the newer animated movies that we've seen in the last 10 years at least.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of hard to get away from, but I just mainly likened it. I mean, it was easy to get away from it, really, because I could just be like, it's good for when it was made 2001. Are you kidding me? And the story
for the time.
Oh, absolutely. So I was able to really engage with the art style and everything. I really enjoyed it that way. It did feel a lot like I was watching a cutscene from a PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 game, and that kind of would be like, oh shoot, that's right, this is a movie. And so I kind of had to shake out of that a few times. But the story was confusing sometimes, and but overall, I would just say not a bad movie, really. I mean, we've seen worse movies. This one was fine. Story was fine for the most part, and for what it did, for what it kind of like Jamie was saying, paved the way for. It's I commend it for that, and I'm really excited about the DVD stuff. Like, I do want to see what they do this year. That'd be really awesome.
Maxim cover.
Maxim. Yeah, I kind of love, kind of hate this movie. I love the first half of it. I have a lot of strong feelings about like the first 35, 40 minutes. I really, really like that. It kind of reminds me of like I said, playing Mass Effect. Like, it has a very Mass Effect-y story. I'm into it. Yeah, it kind of looks like a PS3, PS4 game nowadays, but that's fine. I haven't really moved on since that generation of games, honestly. So that kind of fits right up my sleeve. So yeah, I dig with that quite a bit. The second half of it kind of falls apart. It just gets really, really anime. And I mean that as a pejorative in this instance, where it just becomes fucking nonsensical and shit just stops like in making any damn sense. And that's just kind of how the movie falls apart for me. Doesn't make me hate the movie. Just means that usually if I watch it from this point on, I'll probably just stop it at about the halfway point. Just kind of end the movie there. It ends when James Woods sends them on a second mission. They all die. It sucks. There you go. But I wish there was another Final Fantasy movie like this, because this was a giant fucking swing for like a video game based movie. Like, just a huge, huge, huge attempt to make something really kind of interesting. We don't really see that as much anymore. Like, maybe, is there any video game series now that would like even like, you're going to see like a Fortnite movie,
Oh God.
I don't know what
got video... a Minecraft movie.
We got a Minecraft movie.
We did get a Minecraft movie. Yeah. Which is, God, that movie was annoying.
I still haven't finished it. I've watched like maybe half of it. It's hard.
Are you guys doing that one? Are you guys?
No, we haven't. We're not on the show.
Genuinely, just on my own, trying to watch it.
I was about to say, if you do, feel free to not ask me to be on that one. I will somehow survive missing that one. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's not worth. I did not like it. I watched it because it had Jack Black, and I was like, I like Jack Black, and then I was like, I shouldn't have watched it.
I tried. Like I said, I've gotten maybe halfway through. The main reason for me is Jack Black, and because Jared Hess directed it, and he directed Napoleon Dynamite and like Nacho Libre and stuff. And it is not much of a Jared Hess movie, so it's pretty lame.
Yeah. Well, like I said, kind of about my final thoughts on this one is it's like, I don't usually give movies scores. If I gave this a score, I would say it's like a 6 out of 10. It's a 5 out of 10, a 6 out of 10. Yeah. For some people, it's like exactly what they want out of a movie. For me, it's okay. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, especially on this show. We've watched some real stinkers on this show. So, especially, we got some shit coming up, too. That'll, oh, boy. Yeah, I'll see you, Travis. I'll see if you're still my friend after February. So, yeah, I watched a couple of those February ones already. And, you're in for it. Yeah.
Oh, is that gonna go away?
It might. Yeah. Well, we'll see. But hopefully, y'all are excited for our next episode. There's my transition.
There we go.
There we go. I was looking for it, searching. Thank y'all for coming along tonight as we talked about Final Fantasy Spirits Within. Jamie, tell them about your YouTube channel one more time.
Yeah. When this comes out, you can find me over at Mid Millennial Gaming on YouTube. Another channel will be the same on Rumble when I get around to it. And yeah, we'll be diving in through like late 90s, early 2000s IPs that we all know and love. I missed quite a few of them. So I'm going to be using this as an excuse to play the games we had growing up that I never got around to. So Mid-Millennial Gaming.
You going to do any live streaming at all?
If I do live streaming, it's going to be on Rumble because they are far more... they're less strict than YouTube about certain words you can use that are in a lot of our millennial vernacular. So if I do live stream at all, it will be on Rumble, but nothing in the near future, I don't believe.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, YouTube is very strict about what you can and cannot say. Yep. I made when me and my wife put out our 200 cigarettes episode for New Year's Eve, and I made a post on YouTube rather that just said "Let's fucking party," and it got banned, and I got a strike on our account already. So I learned don't use that word on YouTube because they will give you a strike.
You were actually just on YouTube Kids by mistake. Whoops.
Yeah. I believe if you use too many strikes, then, like baseball, you're out kind of thing, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's whatever. I just reposted it without the F word, and I was like, oh, lesson learned. Okay. I didn't realize I wasn't with friendly adults, but apparently I was not. So it happens. But hey, check out Jamie's YouTube channel. It's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to watching some of those too. 'Cause similarly, that's kind of my bread and butter is those games that we grew up playing as kids, and some of them I also didn't get a chance to play. I only had an N64 and a PS2, so if it wasn't on one of those systems, then I did not get a chance to play it for a little while there. So I am definitely looking forward to some of those. We will see you guys next week. See ya. Bye.
Take it easy.
Hot damn, college boy. Thank you so much for listening. Every single week we come back with a new movie about the end of the world, or a movie about the beginning of the end of the world, or what happens after the end of the world, or maybe one day we just decide to watch Showgirls. Who knows? Right? But every week we are coming back, and thank you so much for stopping in this week and listening to the whole episode and hearing our thoughts on whatever train wreck of a movie I chose to force my friend to watch this week. I'm a good person like that. And thank you for also being a good person. There you go. If you want to be a really, really fucking cool person, which you obviously are, why don't you give us a like, and actually, more importantly, give us a subscribe. I find that to be more important. I don't know if the algorithm says it is. I don't really give a shit. But thank you for your patronage either way, and clicking all the things and doing all the stuff. Bye. Thanks.